Noticed something really interesting.
Yeah.
Usually with parties and stuff like that, I like to mark. Okay, so I've been very blessed to be like selling out shows most recently and being able to go to like several different states and be able to like have like thousands of people in front of the stage. But over here was really interesting because my first few times, my first time that I ever performed in Albuquerque, I was headlining for a music festival by the name of Somos, and
Oh, no shit.
I opened up for a music artist by the name of Black Tiger Sex Machine, and
They were. That's so weird because they were literally just here.
I heard
like
that.
a
I was
month
trying to link
ago.
up with them while they were here, but
Yeah.
like our schedules didn't match up. We were basically that was my first time working with like crazy like performing with crazy EDM artists. Like I've like worked with like artists like Dylan Francis or like for like
Casually just name dropping.
I was doing so. My job at Live Nation and was specifically in Salt Lake City and several different states was managing festivals, managing events, dealing with some of the big like commercial like groups that
Right.
were like coming in and throwing these huge like scale like events for with like 8,000 people in front of the stage and directing operations for the equipment, directing all of this stuff where people needed to be, making sure that the event was fluid and that there was enough people on hand to be able to help out, to be able to manage all that. So I was one of those people that would get contracted out for several different events managing those things, and it didn't matter what talent was coming in. I would have like Dolly Parton all the way to like Lil Wayne. And so those types of events would come in and I would just casually, and I had no experience with dealing with musicians before. So I went from like, I started picking up trash and then got picked up. And from that, they thought I was like funny looking or something. They were like, hey, you want to like work events like officially and try to like do this like for real, for real? And I was like, yeah. And so I ended up like getting myself promoted and like working my way up and building all this experience within like 5 to 6 years aggressively. And in the last like 3 years, like I started to like go away from that and be like, how hard is it for a music artist, like from the ground up, to build their brand without being signed to a label and trying to make this happen like a company? Because I know what people don't realize, that the music industry is two separate parts. You have the distribution side and the media side and the content side, and then you have the live presence side, which is a completely different animal. You have the events, and instead of focusing on the content and focusing on being a product, I focused on how to get 1,000 people in a room. And I learned how to do that no matter where you are in the country. And so a lot of music artists, they don't realize that when you're stepping into the realm of being a music artist, you're not just a music artist. You're not making music. You are a business owner. You are a marketer. You are a communications. You are dealing with a lot of stuff with media and branding and all that. You have to deal with sending out professional proposals and stuff like that. I learned how to put together emails and how to kind of like word certain things and have like business lingo in order to be able to like call up like groups of people like AT&T and bring in $1.8 million for like festivals that were needing that type of like sponsorship or endorsements or needing those types of packages. And so I learned all of that. And then right when I was getting my music like off the ground, right when I was like as a performer without any representation, like opening up for like G-Eazy and all the like different other artists, that's when COVID hit.
Oh, mother. I was waiting for the COVID part of it.
It shut everything down. It took away the whole entire... right when I was at like about to like blow up and right there to get recognized for everything, like festivals were like contracting me and everything, that's when it all shut down. And that's where I was like, God damn it. I didn't know what to do, because I was like, I was having the highest point in my career at that time, and or at least what I thought was going to be the biggest opportunities, and all of that was taken away. And I was like distraught and completely depressed, and I was like, I don't know how serious this is. I don't know like what is happening with COVID. I don't know what's happening with the industry, because everything, I've never seen everywhere in the world, like everything stopped, but I've never seen an industry just completely just like kill off everybody. Like it killed off, like unless you are like one of the, like the Taylor Swifts, the Justin Biebers, like up there, everybody got killed off. And immediately these artists that basically like have been making money off of just doing events. I was making good for getting 1,000 people for a party, not for my brand. Nobody knew me. Still today, nobody knows me. But throwing an event and a party people will recognize certain brands or certain things that I did in certain different areas from Idaho, Arizona, Nevada, Texas, Colorado, like all these like different states. They'll see these events where you can get 1,000 people in a room, charge a cheap like $10 at the door and flip like $10,000 within the evening. And so I was basically living off of that, trying to invest that into equipment and venues and just try to throw like last minute parties here and there and everywhere. And I came here and I got booked out. One of my first shows, not only Somos, but the second show was at the university called Red Rally.
Yeah.
And the fraternities and the sports groups there like all liked me and they liked like my media and my stuff. They were like, is he famous? Like, what is he? And so they hired me immediately and just put me on the lineup. And I was in Colorado when I get a phone call where they're like, hey, we're going to need you like here at like 7:00. You need to get on stage. Like everything's ready, all your staging and everything. Colorado, and I get the phone call at like 12. So I'm like, crap. And I'm at my job over there. Like I was working like construction during that time with my family business. And so I was like, nothing to do. I might as well just like try this. And so basically I ran all the way from Colorado down here and I did the show immediately. I grabbed my girl and we just set up a stage, or we set up our equipment on stage. Like they're doing announcements and there was 4,000 students in front of the stage. Wow. And I'm like, why are there so many people here? Like I was told there was going to be like maybe like 200 to 500 people. Like 200 to 500 people is still a good amount. That's like all of like, I don't know, like Launchpad or like Cake or whatever these nightclubs are over here. Like basically I was getting it just rocked me because I was like, I didn't expect that many people. I was like, why is there so many people still in like what everybody is screaming out? This is a pandemic. Nobody's supposed to be going out. Like you wear your mask, get vaccinated 18 times. Like it's just basically, why is there 4,000 people? And all of them were like college students. All of them were ready to have fun and whatever. And I just came out and I already had like a modest like music set. I was just DJing. I wasn't even performing my own music. I was like, okay, I was just going to play like moderate music. But now that I have 4,000 people, I'm just going to go absolutely ballistic. The whole entire time, I'm not like a regular DJ, or when I do like DJ sets, I have two performance sets. Either I'm doing my own music and singing and I have full band and go crazy and I have flame cannons shooting up like 10 feet up in the air, or I have like a DJ set where I'll get hired for just like mixing remixes of like everybody that knows and just like doing electronic type of like stuff and making sure that the crowd goes crazy. That one I decided to go crazy. 4,000 people jumping. It was like one of the craziest experiences. And I was like, this is where I need to focus all my efforts. I need to stop going to Utah or Idaho or Arizona or all these different places and try to get myself on these lineups with famous people. I've already done that. Let me try to see if I can be able to build something down here. Slowly, I was doing events. I was like, immediately after that, I was like, okay, let me try to take my resources. Let me try to see if I can be able to do a party immediately after that and try to get like 4,000 people, because I wanted to see if that's a crazy amount to show up for somebody that nobody knows, especially for a party. So I was like, let me try to see if there's that much of a demand here. So I immediately threw a party in Halloween. 20 people showed up. I was like, what did I do wrong? What is going on over here? I invested into a venue. I did like $1,000 of marketing. We were on radio. We were like doing everything with this. Only 20 people showed up. What did I do? And as one of those people that managed events, one of the systems that they teach you first is that you have to look at the numbers. You have to look at the area. You have to look at the analytics and judge what's going on. And then you can always, like every step that you take, you can be able to write down and put a number. Whether it's like, okay, I put $100 into making a flyer and I handed out that flyer to this many people. How many people came because of that flyer? And you can gauge different things by putting stuff on the flyer saying, hey, if you bring this flyer, you'll get a discount or you'll get in free or whatever. Like you can be able to gauge what you do based off of those things that you put out. And after I got all of my numbers off of all of the steps that I've done, started tweaking certain things. Immediately, the second party that we did, we saw completely drastic change. We saw like 300 to 500 people completely like sell out the venue. It was a shout out to Power Plant. They're a new venue that has been, I forgot what street it is, but they're called Power Plant. And it's like a small little like bougie like coffee shop that's like completely like white with like plants hanging down from like the roofs and stuff. But they also have like a background, like
Oh wow.
they have like a whole entire venue in the back that is like almost built like a warehouse. And I went back there and we threw a college party. And immediately we completely sold that out completely with changing out all the analytics. I'll send you the video so if you want to put this up on the video. But basically we sold out everything. And I was like, okay, perfect. Immediately people have been talking to do another one of those and another one. And I've been getting a lot of different like groups contracting me out to try to like build events for them or trying to do that. And so officially my goal here in Albuquerque is to build a brand that I can be able to give to somebody like you. You have a podcast, you're completely different than what I do. But say you needed the physical representation, say you needed to get your brand out there, you can be able to call me and what I'm putting together and be like, hey, I'm going to need to do this. And I want to get my stuff like in line with the community and I want exposure. Can I be able to like schedule something with you? And we do an event and you have already like 500 and 800 people to 1,000 people. My goal is to be able to get myself to the El Rey and always rent out the El Rey for college parties or for whatever I'm doing. So I can be able to just hand it over to a brand so you guys can put your name on stage. We're just providing the entertainment and just an experience for people to just come and enjoy, because we did this in Utah and in several different states where we just built something just random and different brands, different groups just jump in and put their name on the stage, and it actually gives them exposure. It gives them community like interactions and stuff like that. Like people are tying the experience that they're having with the brands that they're seeing. And so that's what we've been doing over there. But over here, that's never happened. I haven't seen just something that you can just pick up and then just use and then drop, and then somebody else can just pick up and use and drop.
Right.
And it benefits everybody. Everybody's like, at least from what I've seen in the artist community and the event community, the event coordinators here are shit. Like, holy crap, dude. They're so political. They're so aggressive. They're so different. And
well, how so? Yeah, go a little further into that. How so? Without obviously, throwing dirt left or right.
Okay, it's not dirt. It's actual criticism from an experienced person that has worked the biggest festivals, from Coachella, Bonnaroo, Lollapalooza, like all of these groups. I've seen how it works, how they interact, how we all, as event coordinators and promoters and agents and all of us on the business side, what we do to be able to make our industry better and grow. And we're not like exclusive, like we're like just hiding off and nobody can be part of it. People think that the first side of the industry, which is like the distribution side, they make it very exclusive. They make it seem like it is like something that you cannot touch and reach, because they make money off of making sure that you don't have the cell phone number of of like Post Malone, of like all these people. Like basically once you get into that side of the industry, you'll be able to have an open door to whoever you want. Tell me who that is.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So he just showed me a picture of Kanye West.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that one was a crazy experience too, because I got a phone call at like 4 a.m. saying, hey, you need to get to this location at this time to give us like equipment and set up all your like generators, set up all your equipment and all your stuff so we can have sound. I was like, what time, if you're having me come out at like 4 a.m. to set up, what time is the event? They're like 10 a.m. I'm like, why is it at 10 a.m.? They're like, can't say anything yet. I'm like, it's my stuff. I kind of want to know what you guys are going to do. And so they were like, get here, we'll tell you. Like, you get here. I'm like, okay, I have to drive 40 minutes. Am I going to get paid? They're like, obviously. But I'm like, okay, fine. And so I get there. They tell me that it's a Sunday service that's going on.
No
And so
way.
it was a whole entire Sunday service that was getting put together that already has had like 2 months of planning. It already was 2 months of planning.
And where was this?
This was in Salt Lake City, Utah during April, when they were, Mormons are known during the beginning of April and the beginning of October doing something called General Conference, where basically we have a prophet and 12 apostles. And so we basically all together, like, we try to either tune in on TV or the radio to listen to what he has to say, or we all gather and see it live. And so basically Kanye decided to pull up during one of those and do it right across the street From he did it. I don't know.
The hell?
Nice individual, crazy.